graph this line using the slope and y-intercept. Okay, remember, y equals mx plus b. M stands for slope, and that is rise over run, change in y, change in x, or y over x. Okay. Then we have b. B equals the y-intercept. It is the beginning of the graph. Okay. Now, I like to think of it like this. I need more space to write. Okay. I begin with B, and I move with M. All right. So we have this equation right here. Y equals negative 9x. So our slope is negative 9. And I'm going to write this as an example. I'll slide my paper all the way down. So y equals negative 9x. Okay. Now, we don't have a b included. And the reason we don't is because the b is equal to 0. And they don't include b when b is equal to 0. And our slope, our m, equals negative 9. And slope is a fraction, so I'm going to write negative 9 as a fraction. And that's going to be negative 9 divided by 1. Okay. So now I'm going to graph this. Remember, we begin with B and we move with M. So I'm going to plot my point at 0. I'm beginning with B. And my slope is negative 9 over 1, or negative 9. And slope is rise over run. So I'm going to go down 9, because remember, we always move from left to right. I'm going to go down 9, and I'm going to go over 1. And this line right here is y equals negative 9x. Graph this line using the slope and y-intercept. Okay, remember, y equals mx plus b, and we begin with b, or our y-intercept, and our y-intercept is always on our y-axis, and we move with m. So my b is negative 9, so I'm going to plot my negative 9. And it says my slope is 8. So that is 8 as a fraction is 8 over 1. So it's a positive 8 too. So that means I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 over 1. Graph this equation. Y equals negative 4. Now, this equation should look different than what any of your other equations look like, because when you look at this, there's no x in this equation, which means this doesn't have a slope. So just like we don't include 0 when we're starting from 0, 0, we also don't include 0 if the equation has a 0 slope. I could write this as y equals 0x minus 4, but I don't. So I know that my slope is 0, which means my slope is a flat line. And my y-intercept is negative 4. So remember, I begin with B, and I move with M. And if it's a flat line because it's 0, it just goes straight across. Graph this line using the slope and y-intercept. Okay, remember, y equals mx plus b, m is our slope, b is our y-intercept. So right here, b is negative 2. I begin with b. and my slope is x. So I don't have to write 1x. When there's no coefficient in front of the x, it has a value of 1. So how do I write 1 as a fraction? That's 1 over 1, and this is positive, so I go up 1 and over 1. Graph this line using the slope and y-intercept. Y equals y equals 9x minus 4. So negative 4 is my y-intercept, and my slope is 9, positive 9. And I'm going to write 9 as a fraction as 9 over 1. So I'm going to go up 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and over 1.